I don't know. I'm
10,
refreshing my
9,
video until I
8,
see
7,
that we're live.
6, 5, a 4, a 3, a 2.
Oh, I think
a
we
1,
did it. I think we're live. Okay.
And we're live. We always
Like,
have to do a countdown when we're doing it
3,
through the mobile phone because we
2,
don't
1.
know when it's actually going to go live. But we're live.
Stream on YouTube, Chris and Richie. Wow. Okay.
Hey, so sorry we vanished. It's been a while. Rich, would you like to kick us off?
Yes, hello, and welcome to the Rich Alvers channel. I am Rich Alvers, and with me always is Chris Muller.
Hello, long time no see.
I see my sister is in the chat. Hello, Christine. Okay, well, I'm expecting her to say hi back.
There's a delay. I see we also got Sam and Slater and Mega Shadow and Bomber. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for jumping in. And Brooks saying my childhood is live. And there's Christine saying hi.
Haven't been on YouTube in a couple of months.
It's been a few.
And that is because we're alive. We just wanted to say we're alive. We're mostly healthy.
It's because we have a habit of taking breaks and disappearing. But the Rich Alvarez streaming season of spring summer 2024 has kicked off. Our break is over, so we're back. And hopefully you'll see us more frequently.
I may occasionally cough, but I'm not sick and I'm not dying. I was just in the desert for a long time, and I have some residuals in my lungs that need to keep coming out. So I apologize in advance for potentially that. Other than that, we've been good. And we were like, every week we're like, let's do a stream, and then we get too tired or whatever. And then,
basically.
You know, we're getting on the older side of things now. But I think, we always wanted to stream, and then Chris came over and it was like, well, it's May the 4th, so I guess we should probably stream. So in honor of Star Wars and finally being up to actually do one of these, hi. It's good to see you all. We've missed you. And we're here. We have a list of things that we may or may not get to.
We do have a list of things.
And first I want to say thank you. We got more people coming in. Thank you so much to Rosalind Abo.
Rosalina Bob 64.
Rosalina Bob 64.
Rosalina.
Bree Hernandez, Sun Goku, Linkard. Kaylin's here. Rittenant and Mr. 87 Hero and others.
We got a good crew.
So thank you for joining us.
If you haven't, be sure to give this video a like and boost that YouTube algorithm.
That's right. Thumbs up is everything. So it is May the 4th, which is a made-up holiday by the Star Wars community because it sounds like May the Force be with you. May the 4th be with you. Which I wanted to say this is the perfect time to bring up the now very memeable
Ooh! Super chatted $1.99.
And wrote
Oh. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you, Sam. And by the way, that brings us to our next point. So after never doing this before, we finally enabled TTS, which stands for text to speech, which is why we have a slightly new setup. So you may have seen it say Prism Studios. So now, thank you so much to our wonderful Sam. If anybody wants to super chat, it should actually say what you did, but Sam just put the like in. So thank you, Sam. I think if you actually type out text, it will say like, so-and-so said, hey, Richie, Chris, good to see you guys
It actually
again.
surprised me because I forgot that we did that. But yes, anything you super chat now, we will actually hear on this speaker in real time.
That'll come through the phone and then you can hear it. I hope when we go back and re-watch this, it's supposed to just... Hopefully we won't get like a double echo delay. Oh my goodness, Matt Provenzel's in the chat.
Matt Provenzel's here, and he says, balls.
Good to see you too, Matt. We missed you. Anyway, so yes, we have TTS working now, text to speech. It's the first time we've ever done it, so hopefully if there's any glitches, we'll figure it out. But if anybody wants a super chat,
Christine said,
it'll trigger it.
Happy poopity scoop day. So I wish somebody would super chat something like that because then it would be like Happy poopity scoop day in the weird robot voice.
And by the way, guys, May is the birthday month of Mr. Matthew Provenzel, so you all might want to wish Matt a happy early birthday.
Yes, everybody wish Matt an early birthday here. He was born on the celestial moon of, I forget what it's called and I don't care, but it's whatever's at the end of May.
Yeah. Oh, is this going to work?
Card super chatted $20. First, happy May 4th and here's to 5th Strikes Back and Return of the 6th. Have y'all seen the Fallout show yet? And if so, scale to 10, what did you all think? Love all you do, have done. and have yet to do.
See, isn't that cool?
That's really, really cool. First off, thank you so much, James Carg, for the super generous $20 super chat.
$20?
And it's so funny that you mentioned the Fallout show, because that was actually one of the
that's
first
on the list
things
of
on the
things
list.
I want to talk about.
So,
yeah, for sure.
Did you want to finish talking about Star Wars first, or did you want to talk about Fallout?
Oh, yes.
Did you have any other
Before
Star
we
Wars?
get,
Because you mentioned Star Wars too.
I have quite a bit to say about Fallout, and we'll get there in a minute.
All right.
I just want to say, in honor of May the 4th, they're the extremely memeable and funny Cerveza Crystal commercials have been popping up all over the internet.
So, Rich, if there's somebody who has no idea what that is,
I'm going to explain that. So,
what is it?
So basically, around the early 2000s, I think that in 2003, they first put Star Wars in a South American country that I want to say is either Argentina or Brazil. I think it's Brazil. And because Star Wars movies are 2.5 hours long, they would have had to cut material. Yeah, Sophie.
Sam super chatted $1.99. Cerveza Crystal.
Cerveza Crystal. Thank you so much, Sam. That was very generous.
Star Wars, says Matt. So instead of cutting parts of the movie out for commercials, which is what they would have had to do, they just inserted the commercials directly into the movie. So like there's moments where like Obi-Wan opens up, your father wanted you to have this. And instead of it being the lightsaber, it's like he opens it up, it's an ice chest, and he pulls out a Cerveza Crystal. And every time that happens in the movie, he goes, Cerveza Crystal. Like he's powering down the Death Star later in the movie. And then it shows a close-up of him powering down, and then he opens up a little window and pulls out a Cerveza Crystal. They do that throughout the entire original trilogy. It's just like the Emperor pulling a Cerveza Crystal out of his cloak. Makes no sense. But it allowed them to show the whole movie uninterrupted by commercials.
So they literally filmed new scenes to insert into Star Wars of people just pulling like beers out of chests. If you type in Cerveza Crystal, like you can see the original one. But did you want to mention what the creativity of the internet has done?
It's amazing. So because of that, people have now made their own Cerveza Crystal commercials by like having Paul Atreides pull his hand out of the Bene Gesserit box, and then a Cerveza Crystal comes out with him,
So they're inserting it into new movies.
Hey, Kevin Chamberlain's in the chat too.
Hey, that is Kevin Chamberlain, which you guys I'm sure know was most famous for being Yoshi in Super Mario Bros, among other things. Kevin, thanks for jumping in. Good to see you.
Okay, we've got a lot of things on this list, so that's our little tribute to Star Wars for now. Did you want to talk about Dune? I want to talk about Dune very briefly.
Sure, let's do it.
Because it's been
a few months.
We were supposed to talk about this before,
but it's worth mentioning because it's one of the biggest things that happened.
Part 2 was very good, and as most of you know, actually Dune Part 1 and Part 2 were both the same, based on the same book, because Frank Herbert's original novel Dune is so big that it had to take 2 movies to get through. That is why the 80s movie, while fun, is a very bad adaptation because they had to compress everything. I'm still very partial to the original, I think it was 2001, 2002 Sci-Fi Channel original miniseries, because that's at least as far as completion goes, that is the most faithful to the book because everything is in that miniseries. But if you want to talk about style, I am, of course, really impressed by Denis Villeneuve's take on it. I do end up thinking that Timothée Chalamet is an excellent Paul Atreides. Now, they have confirmed that Dune Part 3 is coming out, and that will, of course, be based on the second book of the Dune series, which is called Dune Messiah. Now, as many other YouTubers and film analysts have said, they're a little bit worried because most people didn't like the second book. It's considered one of the weakest of the Dune books. And I say phooey, because I actually love Dune Messiah.
Phooey, I say. Phooey, good sir.
Yes, to people that are used to certain film customs, I would say that maybe it will be shocking. But now that we've had Game of Thrones in our lives, maybe it won't be that shocking. I don't know. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I don't want to spoil anything, but I'm just going to say some of you will really like Dune Part 3. And others may not. I don't know, maybe they'll change it. Some people are saying, I hope that Denis Villeneuve actually changes it a little bit. We'll see.
I really liked Dune 2. And basically, I watched part 1 and part 2 back to back with Rich just a couple months ago because I didn't see the first one when it came out. Oh,
So
what's up?
Matt's like, the guild does not take your orders, which is from the sci-fi miniseries.
there you go.
They didn't really have the guild at all in the Denis Villeneuve movie, which is a shame, but
That's how it goes. But
Still
the point
good.
is, a lot of people really liked this new Dune Part 2. And what I noticed is every once in a while a movie will come out that people feel like is kind of like shifting. It's like a paradigm shift for setting the bar for how good a sci-fi should be. And long story short, like a lot of people think that Dune, assuming they finish the trilogy, is going to be like this generation's Lord of the Rings. Like that's how high the bar is going to be. It was incredibly well done. And we won't dwell on it too long. But what I'll say is that I think most of the sci-fi that we've had over the past 10 years has been like the Star Wars, Marvel cinematic universe, and it has a different feel to it, which is there's a lot of humor where they're constantly kind of winking at the camera. It's like they can't be serious for too long. It's like joke, 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 breaking the fourth wall. We're a movie. What was so cool about Dune is the immersion was intense and it took itself very seriously, but in not a pretentious way. It was just a really epic movie, the same way that like Lord of the Rings would be. That's the only thing I can compare it to. So long story short, I really liked it. It was way better than my expectations. And after I saw it, I was like, okay, this is going to be one of those movies that comes out like once in a generation that people will look back on and be like, yeah, that was like a defining movie of this decade. So it was amazing. If you've seen it, you know what we're talking about. If you haven't seen it, you should do yourself a favor and go see it. Rich, thoughts?
okay. That is enough about Dune.
Rich is like, we move
I
on.
see you, Rosalina. You know, I have not watched the Knuckles show yet. Have you watched the Knuckles show?
No.
So Knuckles got his own, I think, 8 or 10 episode show on Paramount Plus. It takes place between Sonic 2 and the upcoming Sonic
so
3
this
movie.
is part of that universe.
Oh, yeah,
of the
yeah,
actual live
Idris
action.
Elba returns to-
Man, I wasn't even paying attention.
Chris
to that.
doesn't even know. Yeah, there's a
even
show. It's got like everybody from the Sonic movies in it. It's basically like a third movie, but without being the third movie.
Guess I'll have to check it out.
I keep forgetting to watch it. I'm still in the middle of so many things right now. Me and my fiance Sam are actually in the middle of a Kevin Costner marathon, so we got to finish all of those movies first before we get to
Congratulations,
anything
by the
else.
way. I think you just made that an official announcement on the Rich Alvarez channel.
Oh, I guess I haven't talked to. Yeah, me and Sam are engaged.
Congratulations!
We actually got moon married in space.
You're going to have to explain the context behind that.
We were at the Neotropolis Festival and actually got, married a couple times. One at the DMV. I can't possibly explain the whole festival. It's like, it's supposed to be sort of cyberpunky, sort of dystopian in the desert. It's a lot like the other festival I go to, Wasteland. In fact, it's put on by the same people and takes place in the exact same spot. But instead of being a post-apocalypse, it's more of a dystopian future. They call it Outpost 33, and we're on this planet. And I still do my Quest Hub stuff like I do at Wasteland. But anyways, there was like a moon wizard with a cloak and a moon ball, and he like gave us some weird space vows and stuff. And yeah, but our actual like real California legal wedding will be happening later this year. I don't know. That's all I'm going to say about that, I guess.
Well, I just want to say congratulations, Rich, and congratulations, Sam, off camera.
Cool. Just a little dip into. Yeah, Matt says he liked it. He put a ring on it. Little dip into my personal life. Moving on. Anyways, speaking about that, so Chris, speaking of Knuckles and everything, you want to say your stupid year of shadow joke or
not
whatever?
Stupid. It's so this. We had actually almost did a stream like a month ago, and then got busy or got sick or whatever. So some of this is kind of old news, but it's worth mentioning. Sega recently announced that this year is going to be the year of Shadow the Hedgehog. So, of course, a lot of people were making comparisons to the year of Luigi, because it's like, oh, like the sidekick or the rival or whatever gets its own year. Instead of the year of Mario, it's the year of Luigi. Instead of the year of Sonic, it's going to be the year of Shadow. Anyway, the funniest thing to come out of that was the year of Luigi, which I'm pretty sure was 2013. Could be wrong, but it was around there. Somebody
Nobody cares.
put out a screenshot and showed that that was one of Nintendo's worst years ever. Financially, they lost a ton of money because it was during the Wii U era, and Nintendo didn't do a good job
But
marketing
also,
it.
Luigi.
So anyway, the joke is even though it wasn't Luigi's fault, because they made the year of Luigi a year where Nintendo lost a record amount of money, people are wondering if Sega is going to lose a record amount of money for announcing it's the year of Shadow the Hedgehog.
I doubt it.
But,
Actually,
there
they're
you
actually
go.
doing really well. It would be such a Oh yeah, and Keanu Reeves. Thank you, Crazy Annie. Keanu Reeves is voicing Shadow
There you
in
go.
the upcoming movie. Rosalie keeps trying to tell us about Has Been Hotel. I don't know what that is.
Sorry, Rosalina, I don't know what that is. Maybe you could expand on it.
Okay. Do you want to mention how the Wii U and
Yeah,
3DS
this
has
is
shut
again.
down
This
its
is
internet?
news from a few weeks ago, so it's slightly old. But in Nintendo news, Nintendo ended the online support for the Wii U and the 3DS. It's the end of an era. These are things that have had online support for almost a decade. So there were a lot of things that don't work online anymore, like the Splatoon 1 on the Wii U. Those servers don't work online. I think the original Mario Maker for Wii U doesn't work anymore. I think Mario Kart on the Wii U. Anyway, so a lot of people were kind of sad because it marks the end of an era. You know, this tends to happen like 10 years after a game comes out.
Yeah,
Nintendo
that does
shuts
suck,
stuff
but
down.
also, like, what are you still doing playing on your Wii U?
Some people like to live in the past, Richie.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was just worth mentioning since we, basically are a Nintendo channel. We wanted to acknowledge that that was an interesting era for Nintendo. The Wii U, the 3DS. I mean, the 3DS sold extremely well because that was kind of the last handheld console before like mobile gaming really took off. And now that everybody has like a phone, probably less people want to buy like a DS. I guess they don't even really make them anymore. And then the Switch is the kind of the combination between mobile and console gaming. Anyway, long story short, we just wanted to acknowledge that the sun has set on the Wii U and 3DS online services. So for those of you that got to play those games back in the day, hope you enjoyed them as much as we did. And now you'll just have to play your Switch.
Awesome. Chris, you also wrote down Super Paper Mario 1000 Year Door.
Oh, yeah, that was another thing. Super Paper Mario 1000 Year Door is Paper Mario 2 that came out on the GameCube, and Nintendo is about to re-release a remake on the Switch, which I am very much looking forward to. There's a lot of hype. It's a unique game. A lot of people consider it one of the best of the Mario RPG spin-off games. I loved that one. It was extremely fun.
That's the one that introduces Mr. L.
That's true. Oh, no. Mr. L was introduced in Paper Mario 3, which was Paper Mario RPG on the Wii.
Are you sure?
Fact check me, chat.
Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure 1000 Year Door was the introduction of Mr. L, but I could be wrong.
I think it was Paper Mario RPG. All right, we're gonna have the chat check us. Was it Paper Mario RPG or Super Paper Mario? Was it Super Paper Mario? See, I can't even get it. Was it the GameCube Paper Mario or was it the Wii Paper Mario? Somebody in the chat tell us. See, I'm mixing all the Paper Marios up. But anyway, Mr. L was a cool character.
Oh, I think they're just saying that it's Paper Mario the 1000 Year Door, not Super Paper Mario.
I think Paper
like-
Mario 1000 Year Door was the name of the GameCube one. There we go. Super Paper Mario was the name of it on the Wii. See, I always want to throw the word RPG in those, but none of them were RPG. Yeah, okay. Thank you, everybody who corrected us.
Mr. L was introduced in Super Paper Mario.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't remember.
But point is, in Nintendo news, I just wanted to shout out Nintendo. Like, they've been doing a good job with the remakes. Like, we got Mario RPG last year, which was super fun. Paper Mario 2, 1000 Year Door is coming out, I think, later this month. May or may not do a live stream. We'll give a tentative maybe, because that's a really fun one, but it's also kind of a deep dive. So if we did do it, we'd probably do what we usually do, which is
I knew
just
that
play
Mr.
a
L was
part or two.
introduced in one of the Paper Mario games, and I guess that's good enough for
but
me.
That is coming out. So in Nintendo news, since we're a Nintendo channel, just keep in mind that Paper Mario is coming out soon, and it should be awesome because that was a great game. Some consider it one of the best ever made. So yeah, I think that wraps up the last thing.
Hey, EDMG7 is here and says never played Paper Mario. That's okay.
You got to give it a try.
You have a chance to play it now.
By the way, it looks like we got about 34 or 35 people watching. So if you have
Hello.
not yet, be sure to give this video a like, and then another friendly reminder that we finally turned text to speech on. So if you feel so inclined to give us a super chat, it will read your super chat out through our speaker. You'll hear the computer voice say it. So
That's right.
much
We got it right
appreciated.
here.
we had a few generous people
J-Man
already.
Z, yes, I agree. Super Mario RPG was amazing. Yes, we're referring to this speaker right here, which will actually talk for you and tell us your super chat right in my ear.
So what did you want to talk about next?
Lots of things, but hold on. I guess, yeah. I was supposed to do a whole stream about this a couple months back, just like a lot of things we're trying to get through today. But man, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth was so awesome. I know that it bugs a lot of people that they're splitting up Final Fantasy VII, the remake, into all these different parts. We got what was called Remake several years ago, which was just the beginning of the game. Now we have Rebirth, which is like the whole middle of the game, and eventually we'll get Part 3, which will be the ending of the game. But I gotta say, everything that people had, most things that people had a problem with, that I didn't have a problem with anything in Remake, really, but most things that people had a problem with like, whether it be about the way that some of the battle system worked, or the way the interaction worked, or, just not enough like mini games or whatever. Oh boy, they listen to the fans. Everything is so much better in Rebirth. And again, not that I love Remake. It was good. Rebirth is like so good though. And it's amazing because we're talking like, I think that if you completed everything in the first part in Remake, you might be playing for 40 to 60 hours, but there's already people like that are like over 100 hours into Rebirth and so on, and nice. I definitely spent at least 60 hours in it. And that was without completing nearly anything, just the main story and a few side quests.
Is somebody who has never played Final Fantasy VII, I know for years many have said the original Final Fantasy VII is considered one of the greatest games of all time. Some even consider it the greatest game ever made. So they've been teasing a remake for years and years. They've done lots of tech demos. It's kind of been one of those things that people have always wanted. So far, I know that the plot, they might tweak it slightly. Hopefully that's not a spoiler.
There have been tweaks in the plot,
Have the big picture, zooming out, now that you played the first two parts, do you feel like it lived up to the hype, and did you enjoy it? Was it a good experience? I know it's not over yet, but did you like it?
The thing is, it doesn't replace the original for me, but I'm also old, and I love, the original. There are a few younger people that I've heard say that they wish they would have just done like a straight remake of the original, because they want to experience Final Fantasy VII, but they don't want to get hung up by old graphics and old gameplay. I'm old, so I have a nuanced opinion of that, which is get over yourself, play it. It's a really good game. Like, my favorite games are like from the 2D era, But, to sympathize with those people, I'll say that, I think you could still play the remakes, but just keep in mind that even the remakes in a small way, and I don't want to spoil much, in a small way, even the remakes acknowledge what came before, and in a certain way kind of expect you to know what happens in the original, so that way things, when they don't happen exactly that way in the remake, you're supposed to kind of take it a certain way. Mm-hmm. But that's all I'm going to say about that. But I love it. I love it. I see there's an argument about Tifa or Aerith in the... but like, what's the context though? Like, who's better at golf?
Yes.
I would say that, in the whole pantheon of the story, that I really do think that Cloud and Tifa are supposed to be together. Although Aerith is the more like honest and true, like good person, I guess. I don't know. We could spend a whole hour on the philosophy of that, but like,
they're both great. As
Yeah.
someone who's never played the game,
Yeah,
you
cool.
can't pick. How's that?
Especially
Cool.
you can't pick if you haven't played.
Rosalie says, who's better, Tifa or Aerith? I don't know. It's kind of a toss-up. They're both great in their own ways, so we're going to just say they're both great.
I've seen Rosalina Bob a few times mention Inside Out 2. Yes, I'm really excited for that. I really like the first one. I've seen the trailer for the second one. They have a new emotion come in. I think it's like anxiety or shame or something. I forget. Yeah. So teenage angst. I really liked that. That was a great first one, and I could go on a really deep dive. Tell you what, I have a lot of thoughts on Inside Out. Maybe we'll save that for when the next one comes out. But the first one was great. I have high hopes for the second one. I think it'll be good.
Yeah. And I just want to say super quickly before we move on to Fallout stuff that if y'all like Kevin Costner,
Oh, here we go.
be prepared, because the 6-hour film of Horizon, which is actually being split into 2 parts this summer, part 1 in June and part 2 in August or something like that. Just be prepared because it's going to be awesome. And if you don't like Westerns, then see it anyway just because I told you to. I don't know. But it looks like it's going to be awesome. Big fan of Dances with Wolves. Hey, if you guys have never seen the film Dances with Wolves, Oscar winner.
It's really good.
Go do yourself a favor and watch Dances with Wolves. It's pretty much the greatest movie. All right, moving on.
Speedrun has actually had a good quick
question.
question.
Speedrun says, at Rich Alvarez, I love your We Didn't Start the Fire gaming parody. What is your opinion on modern gaming?
That's such an open-ended question.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like modern gaming has so many different facets, but I would say I still like it when a series, again, we talk about Final Fantasy Rebirth, like they started working on Final Fantasy Rebirth right after Remake. Remake came out in 2020, and even then they had to take several breaks due to the pandemic and other things, So they and that's why Tetsuya is even saying it'll probably only take like 2 or 3 years to complete the next part, assuming no other world calamities happen or anything.
Yeah.
But look at Final Fantasy VII. Nobody can look at Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and say that game is lacking content. That game looks amazing. It's one of the best, if not the best looking games in the last 5 years. It looks just perfection. It is fun, and it took 3 or 4 years to make. So I am not, I don't think I'm splitting hairs or being dishonest when I say Bethesda, you get your shit together.
Whoa.
All right? Yeah.
Language.
You don't need 20 years to make Elder Scrolls 6. And when you say that you do, you are full of lies. The thing I hate most about modern gaming is that they say that it takes 10 years to make a game. Like, when we got Grand Theft Auto 5 in 2013? It's been 11 years, and where's GTA 6?
I mean, at least they finally
At
started
least they have a
releasing
trailer
trailers,
for it, but I'm just saying, like, you only need 3 years to make a game that looks and feels as good as Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. That puts every other studio to shame. I don't want to hear your excuses anymore.
That's funny.
Okay, sorry, that's all. Okay.
Can I also chime in? I'll say this. Every era has the good, the bad, and the ugly. Another throwback to Westerns. There are good things about modern gaming. There are bad things about modern gaming. I'll give you a couple good examples. What's something good? Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I literally never thought that Nintendo would be able to top Ocarina of Time. And in my opinion, as much as I love Ocarina of Time, it's a great game, I think you could argue that Breath of the Wild is a better game. So it's fascinating that that's a great example of a modern game that could actually beat what many considered the greatest game ever made. Or at least they're tied. Here's a good example of things I really don't like about modern gaming, which is all the gimmicky monetization. There's a lot of games where they really are pushing all this live service, shoving a bunch of monetization down your throats. I mean, a great example is Fall Guys. I love Fall Guys. I still play Fall Guys. But when they switched it from free to play, they really, like a lot of games, are just pushing too much, like, oh, buy this cosmetic, buy that cosmetic. You got to pay money to keep playing the season. And it's like, I mean, I get it. These gaming companies, they need to make money to stay in business, and there's a lot of games, so they have to do what they got to do. But I do think that sometimes the monetization gets a little bit too much. Another thing I miss about older games is couch co-op. A lot of times they don't really let you do couch co-op. It's just all online. So there are still great games. There are great games that have gimmicky stuff. But overall, there's always going to be good games. There's going to be bad games. There's going to be a lot of stuff in the middle. Going back to your point, we probably could do an updated version of We Didn't Start the Fire, but like we said before, it would be very hard to make it rhyme and be chronological.
Anyways,
but great tangent.
I just want to give kudos to Matt, who keeps saying Yellowstone, Yellowstone, and then Yellowstone. Yes, Yellowstone is an amazing show, which stars Kevin Costner, by the way. Some people are upset that he's leaving the show or already left it. But that's fine. Yellowstone's a great show, but like he's a professional actor. He wants to, keep directing his own movies. He was going to leave sooner or later. You can't keep someone like Kevin Costner on the show for more than 5 years,
Yeah, I hear ya.
I mean, look at Sean Bean. He lasted 1 season in Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Did you have anything else you wanted to mention about that? What was it, Horizon or whatever?
No.
You got all those points? Okay, cool.
But I do want to move on now to Fallout. So
Okay, cool.
we What?
Nothing.
What'd you want to say?
Nothing.
Oh, and you wanted me to read your comment?
I want you to talk back.
Oh, Stan Lee robot. I got to hear what you think. Oh, yeah. Okay. So apparently there's a rumor. I don't know who said it. That they're going to start using AI to put Stan Lee digitally into the movies. Like when Stan Lee was alive, he used to make cameos in all the movies.
Yeah.
And I don't know, whatever. I don't know what the plan is there, but that sounds gross. And I don't think that we should do that. I don't think they should be doing that. The man is dead. Let him rest in peace. He was a great guy that invented or co-invented a lot of, great characters, along with like Steve Ditko and Kirby and everything, it's like, but the man, let the man rest in peace. I don't know. That's my two takes on it. Anyways, moving on to Fallout now. The Fallout show, I think, and again, we're talking about the Amazon show that just released last month on Amazon Prime Video. Oh boy, I think it is the best Fallout since New Vegas.
Wow.
I think,
Okay.
Fallout New Vegas is my favorite Fallout game. And, I enjoyed Fallout 4, but I thought the story was a bit lacking. 76, it wasn't great at launch. It's gotten better, but it still doesn't really feel like a complete Fallout game. This show had everything I wanted. It felt like Fallout. It has the zany, dark humor. It has, and it has everything. It has you have your vault dweller with Lucy. You have, the ghoul, which is like the, jaded guy that's been out there for his whole extended life. You have the Brotherhood of Steel. You have references to the New California Republic and to the Enclave. All of these things exist in the universe. I don't necessarily like what they did to Shady Sands in the show, but I'll get over it. Anyways,
You see Matt's comment?
oh, what about Fallout Old Vegas? Hilarious.
The lesser known prequel. Sorry, continue.
That's just what's happening today. I don't know. But no, it was a great show. I love all the performances in it, especially the great Walton Goggins. If you've never seen like The Righteous Gemstones or like the last 3 Quentin Tarantino movies, he's definitely an incredible character actor that, hasn't really gotten his due, in my opinion. I think that he's way better than what his resume shows, and I think that the Ghoul is finally like this is the character he was always meant to play. And then when we see him in the flashbacks when he's like a regular person, it's amazing. Yeah, it's an amazing show. Chris hasn't watched it yet, so you have no
I
opinion.
have not watched it. Here's a good question. For somebody who has a very limited understanding of the Fallout universe, can I watch this as a Fallout
Oh,
newbie
yeah, this
and still
is
appreciate
a-
it? Is it
this is-
designed for, you can be a newcomer to the world and still appreciate it?
I think that you could definitely watch the show and really get into it. Yeah, and then maybe that'll finally inspire you to play some games in that universe. Yes, thank you, Matt. Goggins is an incredible actor. Sorry. If you missed my explanation at the beginning of the video, I'm not coughing because I'm sick. I have a lot of dust that is sedimented into my... I was in the desert for a week, okay? It's going to take a minute to get all that out of my lungs.
But Rich is not going to let that hold him back from coming back to YouTube, jumping
That's
into
right.
a
I
live
was
stream, and
like,
saying hi to all
I'm
you
gonna come
wonderful
back.
people who have tuned in today. Because it's been a while. We've been gone for a while, but we're back.
I'm going to sound like I'm dying. All right, you talk, Chris.
All right. So, I have not watched that show yet. I know that Rich obviously is a huge Fallout fan. He's been telling me how amazing it is for years. My thing is I tend to just play a few games that I really like, and I don't play that many new games these days. I'll be honest with you guys. My gaming right now is I play Fall Guys and I play classic World of Warcraft because I like to have a game that's kind of chill so I can listen to a podcast or a YouTube video in the background. And I kind of just have set into a niche of games that I like to play over and over again. Every once in a while, a new game will come out that I'll jump into, but I've kind of gotten to that point where I just like to play the same stuff, and maybe once in a blue moon I'll try something new. Anyway, Fallout TV show, you love it. Is the whole thing out, or are they doing it episodic?
Oh, the whole show's out.
Did they drop it in one batch?
They did.
Oh,
which
good,
I
good
really
on good on
appreciate.
them.
I know that's the
I
way
like
the
it
future.
when I like it when they let you just binge it, because then you don't have to like twiddle your thumbs and wait.
You know, whenever they release a show weekly on streaming, it makes me sick because I'm like, okay, we're just going backwards now. Like I think everything should just be season dumped. You know.
Yeah, I hear you. Cool. So overall, you liked it and you recommend it.
Oh, absolutely, best show ever.
Very nice. Matt says, Chris, don't play Warcraft. Remember 2006? Yes. What Matt's referring to is when I first got onto World of Warcraft, I got so addicted, and this is when you know it gets dangerous. I had more fun playing video games than hanging out with my friends, which
Actually,
was not good.
Fun fact, Kevin, I actually have read the Philosopher's Stone, the first Harry Potter book, the UK edition. You know, fun fact for anybody who doesn't know that, it's called the Sorcerer's Stone in America because Scholastic was like, well, Sorcerer's Stone would sound cooler. But the original book is called Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. And yes, I have read the Philosopher's Stone. And this was a long time ago, but if it was only just to like fulfill my curiosity to see like what was different, not much is actually different in the book. They changed like the name of a couple candies. Like I think in like there's a reference to Snickers or something in Harry Potter, and then it's called a Mars bar in the UK. And obviously, anytime they mention the Sorcerer's Stone, it's the Philosopher's Stone. So, anyways, good call, Kevin. Just a little fun little throwback to a thing that
The differences between us and our friends across the pond being the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah. The Philosopher's Stone. Which also meant that in the movie, like Daniel Radcliffe and the gang, they had to film every scene twice that had any mention of the stone.
Oh, really?
Because they had to say Philosopher's Stone for UK and Sorcerer's
I didn't
Stone
know
for
that.
America. What a pain. Why couldn't they just call the movie The Philosopher's Stone and say screw Scholastic?
Well, you know.
Whatever.
J.K. Rowling didn't have the leverage or maybe localization, something, but it is what it is.
You're going to die, or worse, expelled. Or whatever the
That's right.
line is. Anyways, in other Fallout news, really quick, since we're supposed to be talking about video games on this channel, I guess. But
can talk about whatever we want.
because of the popularity of the Fallout show, Bethesda has finally released the next-gen update to Fallout 4. This is something they were supposed to release last year, but I bet they delayed it because they wanted to time it to the popularity of the Amazon show, which means that there's a whole new texture packs, and updates and lighting effects, and it's supposed to make the game. I have not actually played it since this update came out, but it's supposed to make the game look a little bit nicer. And there's like Enclave stuff. The Enclave is finally in Fallout 4. And there's like a whole new quest line that has to do with the Enclave. So that's pretty exciting. The only thing that's a bummer about it is that we were about to get this incredible fan-made mod called Fallout London.
Oh, yeah.
Which was an entire game set in London, which, they've been working on it for years, and it's a huge, like, Fallout-sized game using the Fallout engine set in the Fallout universe, but because of this update, they can't release it because it conflicts with the next-gen update. So they're going to have to wait for them to, like, reconfigure it or whatever for that. So, that's a bummer, but I'm not, like, pissed about it or anything like some people are. I don't know.
Gotcha. By the way, I just wanted to say hello to a few people that jumped in the chat. Welcome, Brandon and John, and anybody else that we missed. Thank you for tuning in today. So, Fallout, you got all your Fallout stuff?
Yeah, Fallout is all good. Anyways, the last thing that we're going to talk about today is Fanime.
Oh, yes.
So, Chris, you want to explain what Fanime is for anybody who has,
since probably 99.9% of you know, because we do this almost every year, every other year, but we'll do a repeat. So we like to go to comic and anime conventions. Comic-Con started all this. There's a lot of spin-offs. Fanime is coming up toward the end of the month in May. Fanime is an anime convention, but everybody cosplays. And we will be going, me and Rich and Sam. And what's special about this year is for the last several years, we have not actually cosplayed as the Mario Bros. We kind of took a step back from it for a bit. And this year we decided we are going to actually be in costume as Mario and Luigi. And our hope is to do a live stream as well, assuming everything works out. We've done a couple live streams so far. So here's the goal. Here's the plan. We will be there. So I guess heads up, if you guys got a 3-week heads up, if you would like to meet us in person, we will be at Fanime. We'll probably announce a meetup for the fans. We usually try and time it to whenever the big Nintendo meetup is, assuming it's at a convenient time, but keep an eye out on the channel. So if you'd like to say hi to us in person, which several of you have over the years, we'll be at Fanime. It's Labor Day weekend or Memorial Day. I always mix them up. It's the 3-day weekend at the end of May.
Santa Clara or San Jose?
It's at San Jose, I'm pretty sure.
Is it? Or is it Santa Clara?
I'm pretty sure it's
Wait,
San Jose.
aren't we like right across the street from... I'm thinking of some different convention.
You're thinking of something else. But anyway.
Just kidding. It'll be in San Jose.
I was like, Matt, here's your heads up to fly out from wherever you are. Matt says, and I'll be there too. No, just kidding. Oh, sorry, Matt. We're going to miss you. But this time we gave you a heads up. So you can't be mad at us for not inviting
they
you.
are much better live.
Anyway, so point is, we're going to be at Fanime. We're going to do a live stream. We're going to be in the Mario and Luigi costumes. And the one thing I'm excited about, and I'm a little nervous about this, but I'm hoping it will make it interesting, is for those of you that have been watching since the beginning of this stream, we just enabled text-to-speech for the first time. So if you send in a super chat, you'll actually hear your super chat
will be read
read
by the computer.
So here's my
and blasted into my ear.
Here's my goal, and this is, I will admit, it's a bit of a risk for us because we're going to be out in public. Which I will admit, I always get a little bit scared when we do a live stream in public because there's a lot of chance. Nobody's ever trolled us in public. Gosh, I hope I'm not jinxing this, but people have been really cool. You never know when somebody's going to try and ruin the stream. But everybody's been super cool. So what I want to do is I want to have TTS. So if we're interviewing somebody live, we have our little speaker there. And if you guys want to talk to whoever we're interviewing on the fly, you can send in a super chat and communicate in real time and actually be a part of the chat. So that's the goal. We'll hope that it works out. There's no technical difficulties or people trolling us and ruining the stream, but that's just a chance you got to take. So we'll have high spirits. We'll try and roll with the punches, but that's kind of my vision for Fanime, assuming everything works out. So I hope you guys get a kick out of that. Us in the Mario and Luigi costumes, doing a live stream with TTS on. I hope that will be fun, a new novel, interesting, exciting experience for you guys. So that's part of the reason that we did this test stream today, just to make sure that TTS worked, which it looks like it did. But I'm really excited. Fanime is one of my favorite conventions. And yeah, that's Fanime.
When we went to our first Fanime back in 2009 or whatever it was, there was these kids playing a game of Magic the Gathering.
We didn't know. We assumed it was Magic the Gathering, but we weren't quite sure. Which is why we double checked.
It was Magic though, right?
I guess we weren't quite sure. We were almost because anyway. I don't mean to cut you off.
Because that's what I asked them.
We were trying to confirm.
I was like, isn't that what I asked them? I was like, oh, are you guys playing Magic the Gathering? No. And they're like, we're not playing anything. We're getting ready to play. And we were like, okay, all right, well, see ya.
To this day, the guy was so smug. He was offended that Rich just said, hey, what game are you guys playing? And this guy was like, excuse me, sir, you have the audacity to ask me, the true Giga Nerd, which game I'm playing? I'm not playing anything, you filthy, pleasant pleb. I'm getting ready to play a game. Okay? Now go away.
Yeah, it was like
that was the vibe, and Rich and I were shocked. We were like, whoa, didn't mean to rain on your parade there.
I hadn't been that flabbergasted since you can't
recreate, did you? It was so funny that to this day, literally 15 years later, if there's ever a time where it comes up in a conversation, someone's like, hey, what game you guys playing? Rich will be like, we're not playing anything. We're getting ready to play. So now you guys know. It's a great inside joke. I think we've told that story a few times, but I just want you guys to be a part of our inside jokes, so now you can use it. But yeah, it's pretty good. Did Matt like it? Yeah, Matt liked it.
So long story short with that other one, because you hadn't heard that story, I'm going to summarize it real quick and fast.
It triggers it. Oh, it didn't trigger it because it said he became a member, but he's using his member thing. Okay,
no, it said message from Xander Brown member, but it will only read the text
for a super chat.
For a super chat,
and that's a member chat. Well, anyway, we'll go ahead and read it.
Oh yeah, Xander Brown says, "I thought I lost you, Mr. Fredo. Glad y'all are still chilling. Happy May the 4th. Hashtag Hail Tales of the Empire. Very nice.
Thank you very much, Xander Brow, for being a member of our channel for 45 months. I think that might be a record.
Amazing.
And that's actually really good because now we know that TTS only works for
Super chats.
a super chat, not a member chat. But either way, thank you very much, Xander Brow. Very kind
Thank
of
you, Xander Brow. Anyways, there was this guy, this douchebag in Santa Cruz that was like,
Oh, no.
Anyways, long story short, we asked him a question like, because at UC Santa Cruz or whatever at the time, and this was like 2005 or whatever, they only used 16 millimeter film. Very expensive.
They were in the.
No, hold on.
Sorry.
They're
Just
using
tell the
60
story.
millimeter film, and I was like, because this was like at a seminar or whatever, and I was like, hey, like, why don't you guys like use digital film? Like 16 millimeter film is like really expensive, and
His name was Lewis. He was a proto
Lewis,
hipster.
this guy, he's
Lewis
like,
the proto hipster.
Well, you can't recreate a chemical reaction.
and I'm sure that we've exaggerated that to hell over the years, but like he said, you can't recreate a chemical reaction, which is in a way true. But I bet you that school uses only digital now.
So I'll do my impression. It was like, hey, listen here, Rich Alvarez. I'm Lewis the hipster, the film genius. I understand things that you, a pleb, a peasant, wouldn't understand. We don't use digital because it doesn't have that magic aesthetic. So let me just reemphasize, you cannot recreate a chemical reaction.
Yeah.
And now anytime.
I mean, because after you buy, like a digital camera or just use your phone, and then you have a computer and a hard drive, you're set. There is no more expense for you with digital filmmaking versus what is $100 per foot with 16 millimeter film?
It was
like,
expensive.
Are you kidding me?
He wanted it. The look of actual film has a different look than digital, but we're at a point now where like nobody can afford that.
I don't really
It's a
care.
huge waste of
Again,
money.
Yeah, 16. There's a cool look to 16 millimeter film, but 16 millimeter film is never going to look as good as 35 millimeter film anyway, which is what they used to make movies on. And then everybody called Lucas crazy for filming Star Wars Episode 2 digitally, and now everybody uses a version of that. So, whatever.
So now you guys are all a part of two of our inside jokes. If anybody ever says, what game are you playing? You can say, we're not playing anything. We're getting ready to play. And if somebody's being a hipster, you can say, you can't recreate a chemical reaction.
Chris says you're coming off as part nerd, part Trump. Is it? It's
I don't
the
even.
hands, like
I don't even know what impression I was doing. It was a fused.
okay,
It was like a fused thing. It was like, once I try it, it won't be as funny. But anyway, thank you, Matt. I don't even know what impression I'm doing. It's just whatever the goofiest impression is.
amazing. All right. Do we have anything else to talk about?
Do you guys have any questions for us? I guess now's a good time to open it up to the chat.
Yeah. Well, chat, do you have? I mean, people have kind of been asking us questions all the time.
Are there any topics we should be aware of? Any new games coming out? New movies? New TV shows? Anything of interest?
I know
there's
I
a
said, I'm
slight
excited
delay.
for the Horizon movies, but that's because I'm a big Kevin Costner fanboy nerd.
I know, Rich showed me the trailer to that right before we streamed. It looks really cool. And they're splitting it into like a bunch of parts.
It's being split. It was 6 hours. They split it into 2 movies, and if they do well, then he's going to make 2 more. So, apparently Kevin Costner just has his vision, for this whole thing. And I don't know. I'm excited about it. Yeah, we talked about Paper Mario. Excited for it? Sure, Brandon. Yeah. How was your vacation from YouTube? It was life. It was pretty good.
You got engaged, so I'd say it worked out.
I got
pretty good for
engaged.
you.
Yeah.
There you go.
What is my favorite Metal Gear Solid? Probably Metal Gear Solid on the PS1.
Number 1?
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, there's a really important one.
Technically, Metal Gear Solid is actually the 3rd game because the first 2 were on the MSX in Japan, and then the first game was ported over to the Nintendo Entertainment System, and then instead of doing Metal Gear 2, they actually created their own American sequel called Snake's Revenge. So technically, Metal Gear Solid on the PS1 is actually the 4th Metal Gear game, but the first Metal Gear Solid game.
That's pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good nerd. Sam had a very important question. What's your favorite color?
My favorite color is actually, I have no examples nearby. It's actually the light royal blue, pretty much the exact shade of blue that you would find on a Fallout vault suit, or God, what else? Where else would that be? It's kind of a dying color, but it's a pale royal blue. It's my favorite color. I usually just say royal blue. Favorite color, royal blue. Is my favorite color blue? No, pale royal blue. Or hashtag F280. I don't know. I used to
do the
know.
chromatic code
I
color.
actually used to know it,
The hex,
but I don't know
whatever.
what it is now.
That's kind of funny.
I'd just be making numbers up now.
Very nice. Mine is nautical gray, which is a mix of gray and blue. It's actually the color of my room.
Ooh, okay.
Pretty
We should actually memorize the hashtag, like,
Oh, the exact hex.
yeah, color
hash
code.
Color code.
Just
thing.
so we could be those guys. They're like, my favorite color is hashtag F8052. Whatever, you know.
Good times. All right.
Rosalie says, want to talk about Coyote versus Acme? There's really not much to say because the movie will never get released, apparently, because Warner Brothers was like, hey, we have this really good movie that cost us $100 million, but instead of releasing it, we're going to throw it away and burn every copy of it so we can get a tax break. That's the kind of stuff
bummer.
that Warner Brothers has been up to ever since they were bought out by Discovery, just like they did with the Batgirl movie. They threw we'll never see the Batgirl movie, and I was looking forward to seeing oh God, what's his name? I can't think of his name all of a sudden. The Mummy. Brandon Fraser.
Brandon Fraser.
George of the
course.
Jungle. Brandon Fraser was the villain. He was playing Firefly, and like, we'll never see that movie because they threw that away too.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, Matt says, I despise tea. That is a line and a reference to the movie Arthur from 1984, I want to say, starring Dudley Moore. Thank you, Matt.
Very nice.
Amazing.
Cool.
What is your favorite SMB costume that y'all put together for SMB series Dark Darkness? Mine was Biker Wario. I think that
Of course, he says we can't say darkness, which is the coolest one.
Well, I mean, that was just a bunch of hodgepodgey, hot topic
Hot
stuff
topic.
put together
Yeah.
for the most part. I would say that my favorite costumes we ever put together was the original our original costumes, because that
know
wasn't
what?
even intended for a show. We just were trying to make a cool
Halloween.
Halloween costume.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna cop out to
You know,
that.
I was actually very happy with how the Link costume turned out because
Link costume
that
is
was
very cool.
handmade. Your grandma helped make that from a graduation gown.
Yeah, no, it was my high school graduation gown, but then it was cut up into the tunic and hat and everything.
It looked really good. Of course, we bought the shield and the sword off of eBay, but the actual tunic was surprisingly good.
Yeah, my grandma was instrumental in telling me what to do on a lot of that stuff because she had arthritis, So like,
So wait, she was directing you and you were physically doing the sewing?
yeah, for the most part,
Which
yeah.
Alvarez lore unlocked? I had no idea. I just thought your grandma did the whole thing.
That was the same thing. And actually, it was great because before my grandmother died, she was also instrumental in teaching me how to make a ziti, which I make an incredible ziti, and some other fun Italian dishes that people can now enjoy.
Very nice.
But anyways, anyways, no, this is some personal family drama in there. But anyways, next question.
Next question. J-Man said Chris's Knox costume was great too. Literally, we just got a Scream costume and a ski mask and some cool boots.
It is
That was
literally the Scream costume with a ski mask instead of the ghost face. That is all the labor that was into that costume, and I think we already had both of those things laying around, right? So we're like, ooh, this could be a costume. No effort was put into that. I'm just saying, no effort was put into that costume. It was not like, the time spent on other costumes, which were meticulously created, sewn, or gathered, or dyed.
Oh,
Dead underscore LFE1211 super chatted $1.99. Desert Island. Wow, I didn't know the Link costume was handmade. Desert Island.
Desert Island.
thank you so much, Dad.
That's the power of super chats, y'all.
That was really cool.
Ooh, super chat. Ooh.
I mean, it's the first time we've ever done text to speech, and it's still like kind of new and exciting for us. I thank you, Dead Luffy. That was very thoughtful of you.
Yeah, I could see us doing it on the screen.
We're watching ourselves on our projector, and we can see the delay, so it's just kind of funny. So anyway, Glad you're having a good time over there, Sam.
Wait, who sent us that super chat though?
Dead Luffy, which,
Oh, Dead
by the way, Dead Luffy, did you used to be Gearhead, Gear Shift, the gear guy that used to say, "What's up, my gearheads"? I'm pretty sure you're the same person. But anyway, glad to see you around still, and thanks for the super chat.
Oh, the Garfield. There's an upcoming Garfield movie which looks way better than the previous Garfield movies. I'll probably see it. Mm-hmm. We'll see.
J Vance could hear Sam laughing. Yeah, I'm glad these mics are good. I can pick up good stuff.
Favorite Looney Tunes character, Daffy Duck.
Ooh, good choice. Because you took Daffy, I guess I'm gonna have to say Bugs Bunny.
Yours can also be Daffy Duck. He is objectively the best character.
He is. I would have said Daffy
And,
Duck.
you know, if you wanna have,
I just
like, a
didn't
whole,
want to.
like-
I just didn't want people to be like, "Oh, of course he's just going to say what Rich said."
Because, like, you know, Bugs Bunny became the icon of Looney Tunes, and he's this, you know, smart-ass, wisecracking bunny, but, like, Daffy Duck is, like, if you think about all the things that Daffy Duck has ever done, he gets to do the really ridiculous funny stuff. I especially love, like, when he's, like, for whatever reason, Daffy Duck's in the Old West, and he's got his pistols, and he's going through, and, like, he's like, all right, who wants to draw? Who wants to go? And, like, everyone's just, like, playing poker and smoking because it was a cartoon from the 50s, you know? So they're smoking and drinking. And Daffy Duck's like, hello? Anyone for tennis? You know, like, that was, like, his catchphrase at one point, you know?
Anyone for tennis?
Yeah, like, it's just, like, anything. Like, I just love that he's constantly ignored, you know, until, like, the big, brooding, like, big Western guy comes after him for whatever. Remember that?
That's
it was
right.
Like, it was, like, wanted, and then he steps away from his wanted poster, and he looks exactly the same, you know. It's classic shot. Love Looney Tunes. Love it to death.
Very nice. That is.
I saw the first episode of the rebooted Tiny Toons, and it was okay. I didn't think it was done as well as the rebooted Animaniacs. Unfortunately, there was something they kind of retooled the format of Tiny Toons. Did you see the Tiny Toons remake?
I did not. Was that any good?
Like I said, I saw the first episode. I don't know. Maybe I should give it another chance. It just wasn't for me, I guess. I don't know. Just didn't feel like Tiny Toons to me in the way that the Animaniacs remake on Hulu felt like more Animaniacs.
Yeah, I hear you. Silent Story had a cool comment. They said, always been a fan of your Stupid Mario Bros. Work for a really long time. I meant to say this previously about bloopers, but my personal favorite was the joining forces with the darkness.
We must join forces with it. Is Matt still here?
Yeah, I was going to say, Matt could do a great impression.
No, I wish that Matt could like, you know, it'd be cool if we could get Matt to like radio in or whatever, just so he could go forces.
Good times. Good question, Son of a Sith. Are there any updates on the supposed upcoming Legend of Zelda movie? We talked about this on a live stream when they first announced it.
I think there hasn't really been any news since
all they
that
did
initial
was just
announcement,
greenlight it. It's like, aside from that, I don't.
But
think
it was
there's
from
anything new.
Miyamoto himself said it's happening.
Yeah.
But there's been no news since that announcement. So I don't know. And yeah, we just had we didn't talk about CinemaCon. We don't have to, but we just had CinemaCon like a month ago, and there was nothing about that at all there either.
Yeah.
So
you know, after watching Dune, I think Timothy, how do you pronounce his last name?
Chalamet. Yeah.
Timothy C. I think he would be a great Link, because he's like the new young iconic Zoomer actor. I think he's Zoomer, right? Gen Z. He's got to be around there. Maybe he's like the cusp of the generation.
French fluently.
Point is, I would pick him if not that I have any say, but.
Oh, you'd pick Timothy Chalamet as Link?
Yeah.
I can't remember. We did do a video where we
talked about this,
right?
but that was before I saw Dune 2. Now, because I've seen Dune, I'm more convinced he would.
His size is fine. He might be a little old to play Link, but, you know, it's fine. Whatever. They're going to get somebody around that age anyway. Anyone but Tom Holland.
Poor Tom.
And I love Tom Holland. Just like he's done too many things now. He was already, you know, Spider-Man and Nathan Drake, and that's it.
Time for out with the old and with the new.
All right. Well, Chris, do you have anything
else
to add?
This
Chris?
was good. This is our. I think we covered just a whole bunch of random topics. Like I said, we sometimes will take breaks, but this is the kickoff of the new season of streaming for the Rich Alvarez channel. So expect us to be around, and then we'll take another break after an undisclosed amount of time. But
Charles Dance. Tywin Lannister from Game of Thrones. That was Charles Dance as Ganon. Yes, I would agree.
That would be pretty cool.
Man, he's that. I love. It's funny. So Matt Provenzel and I used to just say Charles Dance all the time because, and Matt's here. It's because Charles Dance was in Alien 3. And I remember back in like high school, way long ago, Matt and I we had nothing else to watch, but I had the DVD of Alien 3 sitting there, and I was like, "You want to watch Alien 3?" As one does. And Charles Dance plays, one of the supporting roles in the movie. He's much younger, he's not old man Tywin or anything like you're used to seeing him now, but like he's in the movie, and just like. When his name came up on the screen,
Matt
it was
knows.
like Charles Dance. And for some reason, when we saw his name pop up on screen, both of us were like, Charles Dance. And
I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
Wow.
Mr. That's his name in the movie is Mr. Clemens. One of the bad guys is like, Mr. Clemens. I don't know what I don't know. Me and Matt might have been on the special juice that day. I don't know.
There's a lot of Rich and Matt deep lore of references that I don't even know. I remember
You
guys
weren't there.
quoting
It
that.
was just me and Matt.
I remember you guys quoting, saying Mr. Clemens.
Mr.
all the time, but
Clemens.
I didn't even know what you. deep, long lore with Rich.
But the
Rich and
moral of the story is Alien 3 is way better than people say it is. I think that just like it always gets compared to Aliens, of course, James Cameron's Aliens, which, fun fact, I don't even think is as good as Ridley Scott's Alien, the original. I mean, Aliens is great. I think that it goes, for me, it's like Alien and Aliens, they're both great. But I think that it was like both of those movies are so great that by the time you get to Alien 3, everyone's like, it's not as good, but it's like, I think it's awesome. I think the cool like alien dog hybrid thing in that movie is awesome. And Charles Dance is amazing. You can Charles dance if you want to. Thanks, Sam.
You can Charles dance if you want to.
But can you Charles dance with wolves?
Oh,
get there
yet? Hey, because Rich just rewatched.
Once
Dances
again,
with
I
Wolves
just
and-
rewatched Dances with Wolves for the first time in years, and I have to say it's still probably the greatest thing ever put to celluloid. So like, if you've never seen Dances with Wolves, like, what are you doing with your life?
It is pretty
Go see Dances with Wolves. Stream it wherever you can stream it.
Zondarbrow super chatted $5. Best or video that you all remember? Smiley face. Also, most annoying copyright strike you all had to deal with?
Thank you, Zanderbrow. Like that was what it was like, Zanderbrow. So there was two questions. A butt stomp, says Matt.
Oh, the or.
Or from the
interactive adventures.
So
it was our secret videos.
I accidentally came upon one the other day. Do you remember that, Sam? I was watching a bunch of random old Rich Alvarez videos the other day for some reason, and I came upon one where like
I know my answer after.
I'm
you go.
coming down the stairs or something, and Julian is there for some reason.
Oh, is this the one I'm thinking of with the wig?
I don't remember what happened in that scene. I don't remember either. So it was just a really random video where I'm in it and Julian's in my house and he's coming down the stairs and but Richie, blah 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 blah. I don't know. It's like some weird thing and it's like a 30-second video. I was like, what the heck was this? And then I saw Then at the very end it was like blank or blank. I was like, oh, this is one of those weird random interactive adventure or videos. So I'm not saying that's the best or video. I'm just saying like that took me for a surprise because there must be so many of them that I don't remember. Anything with I See the Bear, though, is gold.
That's literally what I was about to say. I was going to say my favorite one is, did Matt do the original I See the Bear, or was that you? Or was it both of you?
No, I was the original voice of I See the Bear, and then Matt
Continued
was
it?
inspired by I
right,
See the
all right.
Bear when he did the Pac-Man voice.
Oh, but who did the issue number one?
Oh no, that was Matt because that was Pac-Man.
His survival. Oh,
So Matt, Matt did that as the Pac-Man.
had Pac-Man. Okay,
But I'm pretty sure. I mean, Matt's here. He can tell us.
Matt,
I'm pretty
fact check.
sure. I'm pretty sure that Matt was inspired. Either Matt was
Should we phone Matt
inspired
in?
by
Put him on speaker.
Matt was inspired by I See the Bear, or he just does the same voice as I do. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, the issue number one, the rainforest and its survival.
Issue number one.
That was like
I mean, that's all Matt.
total
but,
random improv. One of my favorite.
It's so similar to the
videos.
I See the
Yeah, there we
Bear.
go.
Yeah, so that was Matt. But like Matt, was that?
Pac-Man or I See the Bear?
What we're saying is no. I know that was Pac-Man, but I'm just saying like Matt, were you inspired by Icy the Bear, or do we just do the same voices? That's the real question. Matt says same voice. So we just end up doing the same puppet voices, I guess. Ooh, Sam, could you throw me the dragon?
Oh, we're gonna reveal it on stream for the first time.
That's right.
While Sam's
because
getting that,
I want to reveal him because I want to be committed to this bit now because I keep saying I'm gonna do videos with this guy.
Before we bring in, I'll just answer Xander Brow's second question. What's the most annoying copyright claim we've ever dealt with?
Yeah.
The very first one we ever got was for episode 36 of Stupid Mario Bros. Because we used a song from Nightwish, you know, the one that did the Ghost Love score that was like our intro for one of our seasons. There was another song, I think it was called Planet Hell. Anyway, long story short, they copyright striked us, and we appealed it for fair use, which I guess in hindsight probably wasn't the right thing to do. And they literally pulled the video because that was before they would just take your money. They actually pulled the video and we had to re-upload it. So that was the most annoying one because it was the first one. And well, now using copyrighted, they're a little more chill about it. They just take all your AdSense. But anyway, thank you, Xander Brow, for the $5. And now to Rich Alvarez for the very, very first revealing of...
hold on.
Sorry, I'll let you build it up.
I was going to say, see, Matt says, yeah, we just did the same voice. It's like, so like Icy the Bear, Pac-Man, and Wolfie the Coyote all have that, that wispy, whatever voice you want to call it. So this is a very special friend. This is Desmond the Dragon. He's a new puppet. And when I say new, I bought him last year when we were doing the YouTube Newses because I thought that he would make appearances on YouTube News.
We have one scripted. We just did the classic thing we did, which is we wrote too many of our friends in, and it was too hard to film it.
So he's really cool. He's got this big body, and he's got some wings, and he's like very crimson colored and everything. My goal with him was to give him a different voice than the typical, Icy the Bear voice.
Was he going to be British?
So, he's like, yeah, I was on Game of Thrones. I'm an extra. My name's Desmond. I guess I sound a little bit like I'm from New Zealand.
The guy in the Thor movies or Guardians. You know who you know what I'm talking about, right? The rock guy.
Oh well, that's Taika Waititi.
Yeah. That's the vibes. I'm
Taika
getting.
Waititi.
Yeah, that's perfect.
What is
for
he?
him.
Piss off ghost. Yeah. So I guess it was like trying to give him like a New Zealand. It's like So I came around and I thought I'd be a dragon in Rich Alvarez videos. I guess I'm really just doing a Peter Jackson impression.
I like that. That's perfect for him. You got to do the bit. Keep going.
I'm Peter Jackson, and I edited the Get Back documentary for the Beatles. We use machine learning to get the sound just right. I'll work on that voice, but the point is, I wanted to give him something that was a little bit more unique than just the
and now I see the bear.
Yeah, I see the bear. But yeah, so I don't know where we're gonna start seeing Desmond. I think that Desmond could be in his own little YouTube shorts, but what the context is to be decided.
TBD.
I was thinking I might even bring him along to Fanime if that's not too annoying. I don't know. So that way he could ask people some questions like, "Oh yeah, what's the story behind this costume, eh?" But I don't know. That might be tiring to just carry him around all day. So probably not. But I don't know. I got to figure out. So the moral of the story is submit your best ideas for Desmond the Dragon, and we will use none of them probably.
Oh, geez.
But hey, you never know.
This is a great time to remind you all to join our Discord. I think our Stream Element bot is working. If somebody wants to type in !Discord into the chat, hopefully a few of you can. I think it should trigger the link. So if anybody wants to just throw clever video ideas in for Desmond the Dragon into the general channel on the Discord, hopefully that'll work. I don't know if Stream Elements bot is working, though. The chat bot will hopefully make it work.
Oh, here we go. EDMG7 says, so Desmond, what did you think of the desolation of Smog? Oh, Smog got a bad deal, right? He likes golden treasure, as well do we all dragons do. But I think that the movie made him quite the bad guy in that film, when really he's actually the protagonist. He was just protecting his mountain and his treasure, and then the little hobbits came in and ruined his day. The villainous Bilbo destroyed Smog. That was his gold, mate. It was his gold.
That's really good. And thank you, Xander Brow, for throwing that in. And I'm happy to see that the Stream Element bot does work. So if anybody has ideas for Desmond the Dragon, join our Discord and post in the general channel.
Desmond the Dragon burns everyone, says Rosanna.
Actually, I can't burn anyone because my fuel factories in my jaw, they're dried up. I'm an older dragon a little bit. I mean, I'm young for a dragon, but I'm old for humans, if you know what I'm saying. But I can't burn anyone these days. My hero is actually the.
Keep going. I'm immersed in this world of Desmond the Dragon. I want to know, who's his hero, Rich?
It's God, what's the Burninator? What's that? Trogdor, yeah.
I was a big
Trogdor is his unruly cousin, yeah.
I was a big fan of Trogdor. He's actually a cousin of mine, and he was featured in various episodes of the Homestar Runner website. And yeah, it was great. Oh, Spyro. I like Spyro games. Those are my favorite games on PlayStation. Anyways, I really like that I'm here. I've been trapped in a closet for the last year. And now I finally get to make my appearance on the Rich Elvis YouTube channel.
Are you saying that Desmond came out of the closet?
I was living in a closet. I'm not saying I came out of the closet. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But
Oh, looks like
there is a cat over here. There's a little cat. I don't think that
is that cat popping in?
I don't think the cat's on the
on the
stream.
I don't know if you guys can see that.
Can you guys see the cat in the stream?
Oh, you can.
Cat attack. What's this cat's name again?
This is Toki.
Hello, Toki. Thanks for jumping on stream.
Toki Wartooth is the full name of this cat.
Toki
It is a
Wartooth.
reference to Metalocalypse, the old cartoon show. Yeah. Anyways, any other questions for Desmond? Well,
Oh, there we go. They're all
Oh.
seeing the cat now. Yeah.
I think it's back to the closet for Desmond then. Yeah, we'll figure out something fun to do with Desmond. We had this whole like Game of Thrones YouTube news planned out where he was going to be like on strike because it was also like
The writer's strike.
The writer's strike was
we had
happening
a great
at the time,
script.
but like
It's just we made it too complicated.
Yeah.
I still kind of want to film that, but I guess I don't know. Maybe it's too late. But we'll find a way to get Desmond into more videos.
anyways, I love this puppet. It's very like, fluid and you can like do stuff with it. It's really good. Thoughts on Drogon?
Oh, that's Game of Thrones, right? Is that the one that? Is that which one's that? Oh man, this cat's really getting in my face.
I forget what is Drogon from.
Isn't Drogon the one from Game of Thrones that like is that Khaleesi's dragon or was that the one in the other? Ah, man, I forget. Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, do I not remember. But Rosalina says, Desmond, why are you red?
Red's my natural color. I am a natural red-skinned or red-scaled dragon. My scales are red. I don't know how else to explain it. But yeah, I'm just a red.
LFE1211 super chatted $1.99. Desert Island. Welcome, Desmond the Dragon. I like your voice, Desert Island.
Desert Island.
Thank you, Dead Leffy.
Thank you, Dead Leffy. Yeah, again, we can actually hear your super chats now.
That's really
Which
cool.
is really funny. Welcome, Desmond Dragon. So, yeah, I like my voice too. I was raised with other dragons on planet New Zealand. Planet New Zealand. It's funny. Actually, there's a joke where I don't even know how this came about, but at that said festival I went to where it's supposed to be like the future on a different planet, I made up this whole elaborate joke about Sposton, which is a planet called Sposton, and yes, it is Boston in space. And it was like, hey, welcome to Spaston. We got President Ben Affleck, and we got a statue of Tom Brady right behind our statue of Mark Wahlberg. And we got about 50 Dunkins just right around the corner. And if your name is Duncan, you work at Dunkin' Donuts, okay? Hey, Spaston here, Like,
Nice.
I don't know how that even came about, but there was like a whole joke about planets Boston. I was about to say something terrible, but anyways, yeah, planets Boston. Woo!
It looks like Dead Luffy has another question for Desmond.
Yeah, did Luffy. I was initially a fire dragon, but as I said, my fuel reserves in my throat have naturally dried up. I don't know why, but I guess I'm a peaceful dragon now. There was a time when I was in my youth when I was a little angry and I would burn down villages and the such. But I guess I'm gonna have to eat this cat now.
That cat like
she's
just
all
didn't
pissed
even
off.
flinch. It's just like, how dare you?
Who would win, Spyro or Desmond?
Well, I've never met Spyro, but probably Spyro would win because his head is not attached to this man. He's like a real dragon, allegedly, created by Universal Softworks, and in good times. Anyways, I'm gonna go back in the closet probably because that's what happens when I'm not being used by Rich Alvarez. And goodbye.
Woo! That was like Banjo Kazooie.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was Desmond the Dragon. I've been wanting to put that dragon on stream or video or whatever for a long time. I think I love puppetry. I bet you guys didn't know that I like puppets. I've been like doing
That was
like
very
puppetry in Rich Alvarez videos since like the very beginning.
The original puppetry was Shark versus Bear.
Shark
it was
versus Bear.
inspired by. No, it was wait. I forget. Anyway, that was an old one. That was before Stupid Mario Bros.
Yeah, I mean, obviously over the years I've done that, and I see the bear, Wolf and the Coyote. I have taken over for Pac-Man when Matt couldn't do it on a couple of times, obviously. And then, Wolf and the Coyote has been in tons of stuff.
Zondarbrow super chatted $2. Desmond is the new Pandarosa High mascot.
I wish, but no.
Thank you, Xanderbrow.
Or as Onderbrow, as the robot voice says. So, anyways, and I've done Kermit. Kermit's been in videos. I have my Kermit the Frog. Kermit the Frog. My Kermit puppet as well. Yeah, exactly, Rosalie. I at least have Kermit. But I would love to do other puppets, but I have Desmond's my puppet now. He was purchased at a small independent puppet shop in South Lake Tahoe.
So maybe that's his real home.
No. Will Stupid Mario Bros. Return? Probably not, but we will be in full costume, in character at Fanime at the end of the month.
True. And if you want to see us in costume, we did do Don Mario recently, where we brought the costumes back with a new spin making fun of The Godfather. So check that out. It's about the closest thing you're probably going to get, which is a sketch comedy.
Yeah. You guys are alive. Yes, we are still alive, much to my surprise.
Much to my surprise, too. But also to our relief and joy. Well...
I think we're what, 76 minutes?
Yeah, I was gonna say I think we've covered everything we want to cover. So just to recap,
actually, Rosalina, going to Build-A-Bear Workshop and doing a stream, like trying to build the stuff in Build-A-Bear Workshop, is an amazing idea.
We would just have to get permission.
Yeah, probably.
It's actually not a bad idea.
Or whatever. Just Anyways, I think that's gonna do it for us.
Yeah. So just to recap, we will be at Fanime at the end of May. If you want to go, just Google Fanime, and it's a super fun convention. Today is May the 4th, so happy Star Wars Day.
May the 4th be with you.
Check out the Fallout show. Check out the upcoming Western Horizon. Check out Dune. I think we hit pretty much everything.
That's it. Yeah, that's everything that I wanted to talk about. And thank you, Dead Luffy. And everybody else. Thank you, Xanderbrow. Thank you, Sam. Thank you. Who donated the $20?
Oh, shoot, I forget. Thank you to everybody who super chatted. All the names were blowing together, so I apologize for. Oh, was it James Carg? Was it James?
That sounds
I think it was James. Anyway, thank you to everybody who tuned in. I guess the final thing I'll say is really appreciate that even though we've kind of been gone for a few months, it's really neat to see that when we randomly stream without much notice, we got a good turnout. So the only reason we're here is because you guys are still watching. So thanks for watching.
Yeah, obviously we wouldn't be doing this at all if we didn't have you, the faithful audience. And thank you so much for the back and forth and the great questions. And hopefully we'll see some of you at Fanime. I'm really excited for that. It'll be an amazing time.
Could you do a please subscribe in the Desmond voice?
Oh, yeah, I was going to say not in the rig because I still got tons of sand in my voice. But please subscribe. It's free and easy. we just would really like you to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the bell to stay notified. And yeah, I think it's going to be a great time. Ooh.
Super chatted $2. You're welcome, my saber master. God, my hands hurt, XD.
I know that Xander Brow's been working on their own like lightsaber fight, so that's why their hands hurt. But thank you, Xander Brow. Amazing. Anyways, last thing I want to say is please subscribe. That's it.
Well, with that said, we're going to do our classic sign off. So I hope that you all have a wonderful day.
And an even more pleasant tomorrow.
Now, I have to get up and turn the stream off. So, Rich, do you want to... What was that song you started the stream with?
Major Tom.
Yeah, could you sing us off?
3, 2, 1. Earth below us, gently falling. Whoa.
I think Sam's going to sign us off.